That's just a life memo I go by with. If you are not able to be 100% of yourself around people who are supposed to be friends or family members, they do not have the best intention for you. You should be your ugly self. They might be like, oh my gosh, did you really do that? But it's all Hello and welcome to Kitchen Table Advice. My name is Paola and I am the host of this podcast. This podcast is a safe place where you can ask for any advice you want. It can be relationship advice, both platonic or romantic, career advice, or life advice. I wanted to create a safe place where you can ask for your advice without fear. My purpose here is to serve as a guide and give you a different perspective for you to eventually both find your purpose in life as well as your voice. As a reminder, every name will be anonymous and your identity will always be kept a secret. This is not professional advice and I am not a licensed therapist or psychologist. Just think of this as advice you would get from a close friend on a kitchen table. So, let's begin. My wonderful gems, how are you? I hope you're doing amazing. If you're a returning gem, welcome back. If you're new here, hello, how are you? Make sure you says how the vibe, and if you like what you're listening to, then please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. And as you can see, we're back outside as it's summer or spring or whatever the weather is doing. It's really hot, but that won't stop us from just jumping into the first story of the episode. That might have been a terrible intro. Or whatever. Okay. Alright, so the title of the story is How Do I Deal with Friends That Put Me Down and Degrade Me? I'm sure she's young. Alright, let's jump in. I might just be sensitive, you're not. But I feel like the people I surround myself with befriend me because they feel like they can belittle me or they feel better about themselves when they talk to me degradingly. I have a really aloof, lazy, easygoing personality, and sometimes it may come off as slow and dense. My friends tend to say things, usually about my academic life slash future, somewhere along the lines of, these are her friends' words, this is so easy, why can't you do this? Or, are you this dumb? Oh my gosh, this is so simple. And I understand that it's how some people joke and that I might just be overreacting. Okay, I want to pause you here because this has been a trend, and now as a society, we're slowly starting to unpack where this is coming from. When someone is making a joke at your expense, or if a joke is not funny, it's because of them. Everyone is supposed to be laughing at the joke. If you're going to make a joke and it's only going to target someone or hurt their feelings, then guess what? Wrong audience. And if that person tells you stop, because there are some people who like that back and forth, that personal jab, they thrive off it, it doesn't affect them at all. However, if someone is affected by that, or if you are on the receiving end of that, don't feel like you're overreacting. You're not, all right? A joke is supposed to be funny for everyone around. If someone is making a joke at your expense and you don't like it, you stop it right there. Don't be afraid to be confrontational. I know it is scary. It's really freeing to just say what's on your mind. And if they say, oh, it's just a joke, just be dismissive, cut them out of your life that swiftly. As swiftly as they dismiss your feelings, that is as swiftly as you're just gonna move on and cut them out of your life. Someone does not need to be in your life. They're degrading to you. So, English is not my first language, but it is my main language. So, I have trouble understanding adult things like college and how FAFSA works, etc. Because I'm a first generational student and I don't have parents or siblings or family that can guide me or help me like they do. Whenever I try reaching out and asking questions about it, they make degrading comments about how simple it is and why can't I do it and figure it out myself. And they make excuses to not even try to help me out. I understand it's not their job to help me. It's not their job to help you, but they're your friends. Friends help each other out. That's literally the only thing in friendship. You have my back, I have yours. Or we have an understanding. But whatever, okay. I understand it's not their job to help me and they don't have to, but if they asked me, I would have 100% made time for them and help them. They're the type of people to get mad at me over small petty stuff. So, for example, if we plan to hang out somewhere and I got really sick and ended up canceling the day before slash the day of the hangout, parentheses, puking, coughing, or sneezing, they will get mad and passive aggressive over it and ignore me for a day or more. Whenever something good happens to me, they're not happy for me. They don't show any interest and they look more interested when things are going bad instead. It's like they want the best for me, but as long as I'm not better than them, I don't even think they want the best for you. I'm just not really sure if I should keep them or cut contact with them when we go off to the same college. They haven't done anything wrong, but I feel like they're not the right friends at all. All right, so we're just gonna jump into the advice. They have done something wrong, and the threshold for this might vary from person to person. But if you set up a boundary or you tell them this isn't a joke, and they dismiss you, that is doing something wrong. They're not taking your feelings into consideration. And yeah, some people may say, well, people get too much in their feelings, there's snowflakes out here, yada, yada, yada. However, this is what I always tell you, if something is important to you, and you voice that to a person, friend, acquaintance, family member, and they dismiss it, they're basically saying they don't care about you. Well, not saying that. That's why I always urge you guys to tell people when they step on your toes, they trigger you, or they are crossing a boundary. Always tell them, let them know. I don't like it when you do this. I don't like it when you do that. When you did this, it made me feel like this. When you did that, it made me feel like that. And the answer, if you have a friend who cares about you, should be, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it again. Along a variation of those words, it should always be apology and I will try to do my best in the future. And again, if they do occasionally slip because habits die hard, unfortunately, if they do occasionally slip, they will catch themselves because they already know I care about this person, I care about their well-being, I care about their physical health, mental health, all type of health, and I want the best for them. Why? Because they're my friend and I love them. If I love them, I should give them the space to be themselves. One of the pros and cons of being outside is random people are gonna start doing yard work, and I should be okay with that. But now back to the story. Okay, so I brought the mic closer to me. Hopefully, I can noise cancel whatever is happening in the back because people are just doing yard work and I can see why. But basically, what I'm trying to say is if you have friends who feel the need to put you down, belittle you, or tell you all this stuff when you've already voiced your concern, you've already said you're not okay with this, you've already told them this is hurtful to you, and they just feel the need to do it, they're dismissive, they don't need to be in your life. And yes, this can be someone in the same household. This can be a roommate. This is college. Trust me. And by the way, she's 18, okay? So she is young. Give her some slack. I know once we were 18, we think our lives revolve around the people we're with, but it really doesn't, okay? And well, you're first generation immigrant, so I don't know if you went to high school in the States. Since you mentioned fast food, I know you're in the States. So I don't know if you went to high school in the state or maybe you are just or you're going to high school right now in the States, but I'm pretty sure you don't have as much contact as you did to the people you were with in high school. And when you were back in high school, I'm pretty sure you thought this was all life had to offer. And now you went to college and you met these mean spirited people and you might think this is all life has to offer. No, it's not. The one thing that is constant in life is change. You can change your ideas, you can change your thought, you can definitely change your friend group. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people may feel some way about that, but I think with people you're supposed to be close to and intimate with, such as friends and family, if you're not able to be 100% yourself, they're not your friends. That's just a life memo I go by with. If you are not able to be 100% of yourself around people who are supposed to be friends or family members, they do not have the best intention for you. You should be your ugly self. They might be like, oh my gosh, did you really do that? But it's all in fun. You being your ugly self is triggering someone. Obviously, there are ways to go about that. Relationships are give and take, even in platonic situations. So don't feel like you have to hide a part of yourself because it does trigger your friend. But I'm pretty sure you can just talk about it and figure that out. But when you're around people who are supposed to have your back, you should be yourself. And the fact that you can't be, seems like you can't even be just a regular person around these people. It's just, my advice is simple. It was kind of long to get to this point, but the yard work is getting even louder. So My advice is just cut them out of your life, get a new group of friends. And I know it might be difficult, might be harsh, but these people do not have the best intention for you. And it's better for you to be by yourself than to be with people who literally do not give a damn about you. Because if something bad were to happen to you, God forbid, I don't wish that, but if something bad were to happen to you, do you trust these people to call 911 or maybe have your back in a situation? Do you? If the answer to that is no, you don't even trust them to call 911 on your behalf, they don't need to be in your life. Simple as that. All right. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. And please let me know what you thought in the comment section below. As usual, we get some of our stories on our website, which is kitchentableadvice.com. That is where we get some of our stories as well as business inquiries. And our website isn't just for stories. We also have blogs where we write commentary on political, philosophical, and some social issues. We also have art that I have labeled Weird Contemporary Arts Made by Me, as well as poems. So if those interest you, then please feel free to visit our website. Again, thank you so much for spending your day with me, and I see you next week. Bye. I really hope I can cancel the noise in the back. Oh my goodness.